Hello and happy Friday, friends. Thank you so much for joining us for this week's episode of Margaritas with Marguerita Cheng, CFP Pro, where for 15 minutes at 5 p.m. Eastern, we celebrate happy hour by bringing women everywhere, industry experts that teach us how to flex our financial muscles. I'm Hope Katz-Gibbs, producer of the show on the Incandescent Radio Network and Incandescent TV. Thrilled to be here today to introduce you to Tony Steuer, a champion for financial wellness and financial inclusion. Today's topic, absolutely about that. And before I kick it over to Rita, let me tell you a little bit about this. An internationally recognized financial wellness advocate, an award-winning author, and a very successful podcaster, Tony is the creator of the Get Ready movement, which helps people create their own personal money manifesto. And it uses a financial calendar so that people can stay prepared. I cannot wait to hear about this. It's a framework, and Tony's going to tell us all about it. So I'm going to kick it over to you, Miss Rita.
Well, thank you so much. And Tony, thank you for being here. Here's to celebrating you, Margaritas with Margarita. So, gosh, let's just get to it. So much to talk about. How did you begin your journey in financial wellness?
Well, like every kid, I dreamed of becoming an insurance agent when I was little. So, from there, I started out as an insurance agent and I started doing analysis work. And as I was doing the analysis work, I found that a lot of it issues came up because people didn't have basic financial literacy skills. They didn't understand what they were buying. Insurance agents didn't understand what they were selling, and regulators didn't understand the products that they were regulating. So, I decided to get more focused on the education component, which is how I started writing, and which has led me to where I am today, concentrating full time on financial education.
Which is so important. And I love how you said financial education. Financial literacy, yes, that's what it is, but who wants to admit they're not financially literate? So, why is it important for all of us to change how we think about money?
Be- I think it's because we grow up thinking about money in a certain way. We have to do this, we have to do that, rather than thinking about what we want to accomplish with our money. What are our goals? What are our values? What are, what do we hold important to us? Instead of thinking about, hey, do I need Bitcoin, for example? It's more should be about like, what do I want to accomplish? Will Bitcoin help me meet my goals? So that's what I mean by changing the way we think about money is changing, just our basic thought process.
Which I absolutely love. I mean, I'm a CFP Pro. I really believe everyone deserves to be financially resilient. Can you expand upon this? Why is financial wellness a social justice issue?
Well, that's a great question, Rita. For me, is I think one of the things we struggle with is understanding that everything is different for everybody. And depending on where we're coming from in life, we're not all going to be offered the same opportunities. We have different things that we're dealing with. Since the show goes out to women, I think specifically with women, you have to take a look at that women are going to live longer than men, women earn less money than men, and that there's a pink tax on everything. So when you put those things together, that becomes more of a social issue and how we think of women in terms of paying them, for the same job as men, that's going to have an impact on their ability to save. A man's already going to be ahead if they're making 20% more in income.
No, absolutely. And also, there are often breaks for caregiving for. How can we increase financial wellness? And this is an opportunity for us to learn about the Get Ready movement.
Well, we can start to increase financial wellness. Is I believe we have to start at the basics. And why I wrote Get Ready is that I feel you have to know what your resources are before you can go forward. It's like on a map where it says you are here. You have to know what that starting point is in relationship to everything else before you can go forward. We're taught, one of the most important things you need to do is go out there and get an emergency fund. And emergency funds are hugely important, but that's not really the starting place for most people. For most people, the starting place is like, okay, what am I trying to solve here? For the average person, they'll come in and they'll say, I want to have enough money for retirement. I'm spending more money than I earn. Can you help me? Should I pay off my debt? Should I be saving money? And so you have to start to help them organize their finances to understand what assets they currently have, to organize their values, which is where I get into the personal money manifesto, is to start thinking about like, okay, well, what's important to me? What do I want to accomplish? And once you've got that organized, is then you need a system to be able to put it all together, which is where I created the financial calendar as a way to kind of go through everything in your financial life over the course of the year.
So for people who say, gosh, it's so uncomfortable talking about values, how does that tie into their money manifesto?
Well, I think, maybe putting aside the term values, I mean, that's the other thing, Rita, is we use a lot of jargon in this industry. And that maybe you don't think in terms of the word values, but what's important to is taking care of the environment something that's important to you? Is taking care of your families what's important to you? And I think though that can be another approach is to take away that jargon and just think about, like, hey, who am I? What do I value? Is religion the most important thing to me? And approach it from that standpoint. And then you'll figure out your values as you go because it really is about what you value, are your values.
No, I love that. It's what's important to you. What resonates with you. What are your priorities? So, um, how can people create a personal money manifesto?
Well, that's a great question, but I think it's really, I am outlining 8 steps in mine around the Get Ready framework, but it starts with all the things we would think about is, what are our goals? What do we actually want to accomplish? What's important to us is, so Rita, you and I probably have different goals. Some of our goals may be the same, such as comfortable retirement, but we probably don't want to retire to the same place, which means we'll need a slightly different amount in income. And so I think that you start to lay out your personal money manifesto. It's not what personal finance gurus are telling you what should be important to you. It's you saying that this is what's important to me. And E is for educate, what kind of education do you need? What are the resources you have? What are you lacking? And then I go through the thinking, the mindset and everything else to start personalizing where you want to go and then using that to impact the rest of your financial decisions. So if you sit down with a financial planner, you can say, hey, this is what's important with me. This is where I'm at. These are my resources. This is where I want to go. And then that helps the financial planner make a financial plan that's truly fits and will help a person rather than just going to, okay, I don't want to pick on a particular software company, but just going to a software package and running the typical financial plan out of the box. It's helpful for the planner to know what the client is really trying to accomplish so they can create the best possible financial.
Absolutely. I think that all too often, this might sound silly, personal finance is just that. It's personal. So, as we wind down our conversation, I want to give you the opportunity to talk about a financial calendar and how to help people stay prepared and motivated. And then, what members of the financial services profession do to collaborate versus compete.
Well, those are two great questions. So with the financial calendar is when I created it is, the big problem that I was trying to solve is that overlap between advisors and to think about, like those issues where the financial planner will say, I thought the insurance agent was dealing with it. And the insurance agent will say, I thought the CPA was dealing with it. So it's like, how do you start to get people to go through the macro areas of their financial life that may not be necessarily the purview of one advisor? So a good example where I have people in August think about their beneficiaries is to check the beneficiaries on their 401k plan, which may not be something that an advisor will necessarily focus on. So, it's those types of things. One month it's focusing on your property taxes. Have you had a change in your property value, and can you appeal your property taxes? So I try to get micro, but at the same time, it's to complement what advisors are doing so people can start to see, okay, well, I'm dealing with this issue. This is a great time to call in an advisor. And that actually that links up with the whole collaboration impact is you can start to see, a consumer can start to see this is where an advisor plugs in to the bigger picture. Because I think that's sometimes what people struggle with too is like, okay, I have a financial planner, but I don't understand how they really fit into what I'm doing. I have an insurance agent. I don't really, my insurance agent is trying to talk to me about mutual funds, and my financial planner says I need to get more life insurance, for example. It's like, okay, what is the line? And that can be tricky and can be tricky for clients depending on the advisor because some advisors feel very comfortable dealing in a lot of different areas, and some advisors are very comfortable just talking about investment. And so I think that's what I'm trying to do is sort of help people again with that organization is to see where things fit and put that puzzle together.
Thank you so much, Tony. Before I turn it over to Hope, I want to give you the opportunity for people to find you, website, social media handles, so people can find you and support the amazing work you're doing.
Yeah, well, the best place to find me, I'm on LinkedIn quite a bit. So if you're a financial service professional, LinkedIn is a great place to connect. Of course, my website, tonysteuer.com, and you'll find a lot of resources there. You'll find the financial calendar. It's available for anybody, and I have a number of other resources that people can get for free because I'm just trying to promote financial literacy.
Well, thank you for all you do, Tony. Now back to you, Hope.
Thank you, Rita. Thank you, Tony. I love this, the get ready movement. I think it's such a brilliant idea. Get ready, stay prepared. So we look forward to all of your books. You've written so very many of them, and they're all so incredibly helpful. So we look forward to sharing all of that with our audience on Margaritas with Marguerita Cheng, CFP Pro. It's a great happy hour. So thank you both, and thank you to our audience. We look forward to talking to you next Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern. Stay well. Thank you so much for being part of our Incandescent Radio and TV family. This is Hope Katz-Gibbs, founder of Incandescent Incorporated, the PR and publishing company for women entrepreneurs. Our Incandescent Radio and TV shows are brought to you by our advertisers and clients. Margaritas with Marguerita Cheng, CFP Pro, brings us 15 minutes of tips every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern on Facebook Live, where you'll meet experts who are helping us flex our financial muscles. Find all of the episodes at margueritacheng.com. You'll also meet intuitive psychotherapist Kara Keem, who interviews therapists and other intuitive guides from around the world. Learn more at karakeem.com. And you're going to love social justice expert Karen Hanrahan, CEO of the San Francisco-based Glide Memorial Foundation. She bridges the gap from local impact to global change on her Thought Leadership Show on Incandescent Radio. Learn more about Karen at KarenHanrahan.com. You're also going to love Alina Liao, founder of the radical wellness journaling company, ZenitJournals.com. Alina asks, have you tried to journal but found it hard to keep up? Zenit makes it easier to journal for your wellness. With Zenit, you can customize your journal with prompts that speak to you, no more blank pages. Your Zenit is your personalized space to take care of yourself. Website, ZenitJournals.com. Feel it, write it, Zenit. You'll also meet amazing Tracy Schott, founder of Voices for Change. Tracy is determined to change the world and end domestic violence. Learn more at voicesforchange.net. And we are so thrilled to be publishing a book for Angela Mitchell, who is the tech expert of case management. And she's also the founder of this fabulous organization, Kids Code 2. She is determined to teach kids to code computers. Talk about teaching a kid to fish. We invite you to discover and peruse all the Incandescent Incorporated websites, the magazine For Women, By Women, About Women, incandescentwomen.com. Our health and wellness magazine is beincandescent.com, the business of mind, body, spirit, soul, and heart. Our YouTube channel is Incandescent incandescent.tv. And you can learn about our PR and book publishing services at incandescent.us. If you'd like to have your own radio and video show, check us out at incandescentradio.com, where you can see what we can do for you. These podcasts are also featured on iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Our podcasts are produced by Brandy Wilsker. Our videos are produced by Nelson Benavides. Our website developer is Max Kukoy, and our incandescent illustrator and designer is Michael Glenwood Gibbs. If you'd like to learn more, please send me an email, hope@hopegibbs.com. Here is to your incredible, indelible, incandescent success. Much love and many